Hi guys, so I picked up a few extra bits and we are good to go on a full face of Essence. So if you like the sounds of that, then make sure you subscribe and let's just jump straight into it. So I just got out of the shower not long ago. I haven't actually put any skincare on since I got out, so that's why I'm actually going to start with this. This is the Essence Prime and Studio Hydrating and Skin Refreshing Primer. So 24-hour hydration. It's got coconut water and hyaluronic acid in it. It looks just like a moisturizer, and I'm just going to put this all over my face first before I do anything else. So I'm nice and moisturized. Now let's go in with the eyebrow stuff. So I'm just going to quickly brush my eyebrows up. I gave them a pluck yesterday, so they're looking a little bit better than normal. And what I have for brows is this. So this is the Essence Tiny Tip Precise Brow Pen Semi-Permanent. I've got mine in dark brown, so it is like a pen. Let's just, okay. I've never used anything like this before. It looks like it's bleeding. I had that liner, the Tiny Tip liner, which was like an actual eyeliner, and it did the same sort of like bleeding thing that this is doing. Oh, I've never used anything like this. What do I do? Oh, it might be a bit too dark. Oh god, oh god, oh god. Okay, I'm gonna brush it through. Okay, if you brush it through, it kind of like, I don't know, like you can't really see where I've put it. So I feel like when I brushed it through, it sort of, I don't know, just filled in rather than doing weird stuff. Yeah, see, it just sort of like, it almost like diffuses it and like gets rid of it a little. Not on my fave brow, and definitely not the easiest to use. Like, I am terrified of this thing. I mean, it's a fine brow. I could get that from my pencil a lot faster, a lot less terrified. Okay, I don't hate it, definitely don't love it. It just seems like it's like a lot of work for something that I could have got in like way less time. So I'm going to clean up my eyebrows and prime my eyelids with some concealer. This is the Essence Skin Loving Sensitive Concealer. I feel like I've pretty much almost used this up. I've been using this for a little while. I really like it. So I got some on my hand. Just use a little brush. And let's try and clean these brows up a little. Now I'm just going to put a little dot on my eyeball just to prime before we go in with eyeshadow. Then for eyeshadow, I have this Essence the Brown Edition. So this is what it looks like. I've used this palette a couple of times. Like it's fine. It's good for a little everyday palette, but it's not anything like spectacular. Especially because Essence eyeshadows are really expensive, and I'm not really sure why. Like, the rest of Essence is super affordable, but the eyeshadows are like at minimum like £5, but most of the time they're like £7, which I don't understand, because you can get like way cheaper eyeshadows from like proper drugstore brands, if that makes sense, like Revolution. But this is the only eyeshadow palette I've tried from Essence, and I'm not too impressed by it, but they might have like better formulas in different palettes. But this is just my opinion on this palette. So let's just start everything off by taking this lighter shade, and I use that to just sort of like set everything down if it's an alright colour. Okay, so now I want to deepen it up a little bit more, so I'll take this shade right here and I'll just start putting that through my crease. Okay, now I want to deepen things up a little bit more, so I'm going to take this warm shade right here. So there's only really a couple of warm tones in the palette. Like, it is mainly like cool tones, but this one has like a little bit of warmth to it. Like, it has a more warm undertone than the rest. But I wouldn't say that any of these are like fully warm, so you have to kind of like cool eyeshadows to like this one. So I've just done that, and I've got a little basic shape down. Now we're going to go in with the even darker version. It's still really, really cool toned. Okay, so I just got interrupted by a phone call from the PDSA. So I went ahead and took a little bit of this darker, cooler shade, and I just patted that like out here. And I did a little bit of extra blending, and I did a little bit of extra blending, and that is about it. So now, what do I want to do? I could take the dark shade, or I could do it as a liner, but I do also have liner. So I'm going to take this dark shade right here. This is more of like a red tone brown, so this is really like the warmest shade in the palette. But even this like is still kind of cool toned, if you ask me. And I'm just going to pat that on my outer part of my eye. And I'm going to start blending that into my other browns. Sorry if you can hear loads of noises as well. Cam just moved all of the guinea pig stuff around, and he's made like a proper little guinea pig palace for them. He's been watching loads of videos on like how to tame guinea pigs, and like basically how to make the guinea pigs the happiest that he can make them, which is so sweet. And he's just like sorted everything out, and they love it, so they're exploring and stuff. So if you can hear that, I apologize. Why don't we do a little bit of a concoction? Why don't we take this dark brown one right here, and I can pop that on sort of like the edge part of my eye, like out here. Blend that into the matte. So darker shade on that one. Then why don't we take a little bit of the gold and pop that in the center part, and just do a little gradient. I'm just tapping. I could like wet a brush or swipe to get it more metallic, but I don't really want it to be super metallic. And then just because I can't help it, let's take this white gold and pop that on the inner part of the lid, right in here. Something like that. That looks nice. So that's it for eyeshadow. I really like it. I think it's cute. But let's do a little bit of liner. So I have this Essence liquid ink eyeliner in waterproof brown. So this is what that applicator looks like. It's just a little brush. And let's attempt, should we do a wing? Maybe like a little one. Okay, so I did some little tiny baby wings, and then I cleaned everything up, and this is how we look. So the eyeliner is really good, really easy to apply, really pigmented, like it goes on super easy, as you probably would have seen. I really rate this, but they do have one that is also called Tiny Tip. It's in the same packaging as this brow pencil, and that is really shoddy. I would not recommend that at all. Like it's super like it bleeds. Firstly, it's not opaque at all, and it claims to be waterproof, but it literally rubs off in 2 seconds. So wouldn't recommend that, but I would recommend these little ones. So now I'm going to get on with the skin, and I'm actually going to add another primer. So this is the Essence Prime and Studio Glow Boosted and Pore Minimizing Primer. It's got pink clay in it. I've had this primer the longest. This is probably like the oldest Essence thing that I own. It's like a pink sort of liquid. It's got some like little shimmers in it, like maybe you can see a bit better, but I'm just gonna put this on my face. It smells super nice, but again, like Essence just don't really make my favorite primers ever. But honestly, this one almost feels more hydrating than the Hydrating one, and I do really like the look it gives my skin. So out of the 2 primers that I own, I would probably recommend this one more. I don't think I've ever had any issues with this one, like with foundations on my skin, whereas with the other one, this Hydrating one, I've had things look really funny on my nose and stuff. So out of those 2, I would definitely recommend the pink clay one. But now let's move into foundation. So I'm really excited to try this. Like I've been eyeing this up for probably like 2 months. This is the Essence Pretty Natural Hydrating Foundation. It's got hyaluron and aloe vera. It's meant to last meant to have 24-hour long lasting hydration, and it's vegan, and I got mine in neutral ivory, which is 030. Oh, that's so cute. You open it up and it says, "You are pretty." That's adorable. So I like the packaging. Okay, so I'm just going to squirt some on my hand. I believe that this was the lightest shade. And it's runny, as you can see, but not too runny. Like, I've definitely had runnier ones. So I'm going to, oh, it feels thick. Oh, it feels super thick. Okay. Oh wow, that's not a texture I was expecting from something that is meant to be a hydrating foundation. But I'm just gonna dot it around, and I'm gonna blend half out with a sponge and half out with a brush, and we can see which one gives us better coverage. I think this is maybe a little too yellow toned for me. I find that they often are. I do find that the lightest shades are often too yellow for me. I'm not really a yellow undertone, but I'll make it work. It'll be fine. Okay, so it definitely doesn't have any coverage. It has super light, like light to sheer, I would say. It's definitely not as light as that Poundland foundation I tried recently though. I mean, that side does look nice. I definitely want a bit more coverage, but it looks okay. Okay, so I'd say they're like about the same. I think you might get the teeny tiniest bit more coverage with a brush, but after 2 layers, it's definitely still got light coverage. Like, I don't think it really builds up, but I do like it. Like, it does look like skin. I think Pretty Natural is a really good name for it. It's sitting a little bit funny around here, and it's accentuating the dry skin on my nose, even though it's supposed to be hydrating. But overall, I think it looks nice. Like, it definitely still looks like skin. Very light coverage. Does it say anywhere about what kind of coverage it's meant to have? It says hydrating foundation with hyaluronic acid and aloe vera, 24-hour long lasting wear finish and lasting moisturization. So this is supposed to last for 24 hours. Interesting. With a natural coverage, finish and weightless skin feel. So it's not the lightest thing I've ever felt on my skin. Like, I've definitely had foundations recently, like the Poundland one, the Primark one, that felt a lot more lightweight than this one. This one feels a bit thicker on the skin, so I do like it, but it's not my favorite of these ones that I've tried. But then for a favorite, let's go with my concealer. So again, this is the Skin Loving Sensitive Concealer. I have mine in 05 Fair, by the way, and again, this concealer is a little bit too yellow toned for me, but I actually like it. It does really work. This again sort of has like a natural coverage. Like, it's nothing crazy. It's not going to be full coverage, but it works really well with these sort of lightweight products because it doesn't look out of place. But actually, just at the moment, because I'm not going to lie, this foundation is actually feeling a little bit dry. So I'm just going to go ahead and actually spray it with a little bit of spray before I blend that in. This is the Essence Keep It Perfect Makeup Fixing Spray. It's got hydrating, no, it's hydrating with hyaluron. It's free from oil and alcohol. So I'm just going to go ahead and give this a little spray just before I blend it in, just to give a bit of moisture back. Oh, that's not promising. Okay, there we go, that's better. Oh wow, that is an aggressive mister. And don't eat it, it does not taste nice. Okay, that felt like that was super aggressive. I feel soaked now. So look at the difference that concealer makes. I feel like it's a really nice concealer, although it's sort of like picked up a bit of my foundation right here, and I'm not gonna lie, my foundation still feels really dry. I'm not really sure what's going on, because I had on that hydrating moisturizer, that hydrating primer, that other primer that had moisture in it, and now I'm wearing a hydrating foundation, but it's not feeling good. And I know exactly how both those primers work. I know exactly how this concealer works, so I know that it's the foundation. Okay, honest first impressions, I don't like the foundation. It's coming off in all of these different areas. It's sitting really weirdly on my nose and around here and up here. Basically anywhere where I have a texture, it's just sitting weird, and it feels super thick on my skin, and it feels really dry as I'm trying to blend stuff on top of it. I don't like it. I don't know if it's the primers. I don't like it. I don't know if it's the primers, like the combination, but I mean, they're all from the same brand, so it should sort of work. But because I actually have to go out, I kind of want to cheat and use, I want to use a bit of a different setting spray to try and get me some, like, moisture back. So I'm actually just going to cheat and go in with a little bit of this W7 Flower Power Peony. It's definitely still peeling off on certain areas of my cheeks, which I have no idea why. But that setting spray has helped. So I'm actually going to take a bit more of that foundation. I never have to do this. I've never had to do this before. And I'm just going to pop some of that on there. Maybe it like has self-set or something and it's working weird. But the only time I've ever had issues like this is if I'm trying to blend something on top of a powder, like something that's already set. That's the only time that I will ever really see issues like what's happening right now. I actually just wet my sponge again just to see if that will help me at all. I had already wet it earlier, but it was just feeling so dry to blend that I was like, let me just make sure that it's not the sponge. Okay, so after like 20 minutes of trying to make that look alright, this is what we've got, and it is not the best at all. I'm going to keep obviously trying that foundation with different primers and different concealers and stuff in case something just isn't merging well together. But on first impressions, this is a no from me. Like, I do not like what it's doing, and this is the most work I've ever had to put into makeup, like ever. Like, just look up close, like, it's cakey, it's coming off places, it's patchy, it's dry, it just, this is not a good base. This is not a good base. And I feel like it's making, like, even the concealer look bad, even though I've tried this concealer so much. This concealer is my favorite concealer. Like, I've tried it with so many different foundations, and it's the foundation is making the concealer look bad. But we move on. So now we're going to use a powder. I've never tried this powder, so this could either save the day or this could just make things really awful. And this is the Essence Skin Loving Sensitive Mineral Powder, blurring and mattifying, non-comedogenic and aloe vera. Okay, so it's from that Skin Loving Sensitive line. It's got a cute little emboss. It's 01 translucent, so that was really sheer. You can't even really see it. I'm gonna set my face with this. I feel like this powder could not get justice right now just because of how dodgy the base is looking. Well, let's just put that in. Doesn't feel like I'm getting anything. Ugh. Okay, so I've just powdered this side of my face. Let me bring it in. So, I don't know if you can see, but it's looking all cakey right here. And there's like a massive just patch where the foundation has come off and the powder has just emphasized it. It's looking like the freaking Sahara Desert under there. All of my texture. Look at how dry my nose looks right now. Look at this. It looks awful. Oh my god, I look like a dry, horrible mess. Oh Jesus. I really want to take this base off right now and do something else because I'm going out. I'm so upset because outside of that concealer that I use, these are like the only base products I've ever tried from Essence. Like, I've never tried a foundation or a concealer from them or anything like that before. And it's quite disappointing. I'm going to spray my face quickly and I'm going to cheat again. I'm sorry. This time I'm going to use my Poundland It's Showtime 2-in-1 Primer Fix Spray. This is like super glowy, so I'm hoping it will help. I don't know what to do. How am I supposed to like judge the blush and shade? Right, I will. Firstly, I'm going to do some contouring, and for that I've got the Essence Contouring Duo palette. This is in the shade 10 Lighter Skin. I'm just going to mix both shades together. And all I've been using recently is my Poundland contour, so hopefully this goes alright. I just feel like stuff is not blended on top of this base. Like, this looks awful. I'm gonna have to fix it in a sec. Now let's move on to bronzer. For that I've got the Essence Mosaic Compact Powder in 01 Sunkissed Beauty. This is one of my favourites, although I feel like it's not gonna look like that today. It smells so good. Put a bit of it on. Hopefully bronzer and blush and highlighter will cover my sins. I really like this bronzer because it has like a little bit of shimmer in it, so it does give sort of like a very natural look to the face. I'm not gonna lie, like the bronzer in that has actually smoothed out the face a little bit. Good job, bronzer. Now let's move on to blush. So I've never tried Essence blushes, but I have heard really good things about them. So this is the blush in the shade 80 Breezy, and it's like sort of like a coral orange colour. Okay, can I get a bit of pigment please? Okay, super light, but it's like, it looks like it's got a sheen to it. It looks a bit more corally than I wanted. I wanted something a bit orangey, but we shall see. Just gonna swirl in. I don't know how pigmented this is gonna be. Let's shove this on my face. Okay, it's very subtle. Hello. Is that's not showing up at all. I'm just taking a different brush. This is a Duo Fiber Guy. I feel like it picks product up a bit better. Okay, that blush it's not very pigmented, and it also has not saved the day. Cam just come in and also did tell me that I look like a powdery mess, so not loving these products. I feel like maybe the blush and the powder and stuff could look better on top of a better base, but for the base that I'm working with, it's not working. It's just not looking good. Anyway, let's move on to like probably my favorite product that Essence does, and that is the highlighter. I have mine in 01 Mesmerizing, and as you can see, I have loved this a lot. Like it's so good. It's so incredibly pigmented. This is like the highlighter that I use every single day basically. So I just swirl and ooh. If anything can save it, maybe it's the highlighter. Maybe it's the highlighter. Okay, so the highlighter maybe saved like a tad, but it still looks freaking awful. I really am not enjoying this. I was so excited to try Essence products because honestly, the highlighter is my favourite. That bronzer I really love. I really like their lip glosses, their eyeliners. Like, I really wanted to be very impressed by this, and I am just the opposite. I hate my makeup. I hate the way my face looks right now. I really hate it. I'm gonna go in with some setting spray then. So this is the Essence Keep It Perfect. I don't want to fix this. Oh god. Even from far away, it's still aggressive. Has that done anything? Do I look any better? No, I don't. Wonderful. I thought it could be my saving grace. It is not. I'm going to just put on the lip product quickly, just because my lips need a little blah, 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 whatever. I'm going to put on the lip stuff. This is the Essence Shine 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 Wet Look Lip Gloss. I have mine in 260 My Plump. It's like a really pretty peach shade. I don't know if it's actually going to go with the look today, but it's what we've got. Okay, there it is. I just blotted it down as well because it was a little bit too intense. But I really like this. It plumps nicely, yada yada yada. Let's finish up the eyes. Alright, palette, brush. I'm gonna take this one, not that it really matters at this point because this look is ruined. But this one, I'm gonna slap that under my eye. And then I'm just gonna take this white gold shade, load it up on my brush. And that's gonna live in the inner corner. Okay, and then the last thing we have to try is a mascara. So I'm gonna curl my lashes quick because I want this to look somewhat okay if possible. Okay, so this is the Essence Volume Hero Mascara in the waterproof. Yep, see this? So it has a big old chunky wand, which I tend to like. I've only tried one other Essence mascara before, and it was the Bye Bye Panda Eyes, and I really didn't like it. It just didn't work for me. But let's get you up close so you can see what this does. It's got a plastic one just like I like, and it might even rival my Technic one. That looks good. So for just one coat, that's actually pretty impressive. That is definitely volumizing, like that's actually quite nice. I've heard people rave about Essence mascaras, like everyone raves about them, but I've never had a good experience with one. But I do like this one. Although it is getting a little bit clumpy on the second application. So I would still probably say that I prefer my Technic over this one. But this one is a nice mascara. Okay, so if you want the short version, I would not recommend it. I like a lot of this. Yeah, for some reason I have like pinkish purple eyebrows now. I have no idea why. It's just sort of gone like that. It's like blended into the foundation. That's what it's looking like right now. I smashed like I sprayed loads of that Poundland glowy setting spray on my face, and that's made it look like a little better, especially from a distance. Like I look glowy and nice. That's down to the setting spray, which wasn't even from Essence. But when you get nice and when you get all up close and personal, you are exposed to a world of dryness and patchiness and texture and purple eyebrows and sluggy eyebrows and dry under eyes, and I hate it. The things that I would say for me were just a massive waste of money would be the foundation. I don't like. Obviously I'll keep trying it, but first impressions I don't like, would not recommend, and I feel like it's a waste of money. I didn't like this. It just made me look super dry and like horrible. The blush I thought was really, it wasn't very pigmented at all. It took me a while to build up. Wouldn't recommend at all. I'm not impressed with it. The eyebrow pencil thing, like my eyebrows, at first I was like, maybe they look nice, maybe they're more feathered, maybe I like that, but it's bled and now I have pink freaking eyebrows. This is way too filled in and way too dark. Like I've got fucking slugs on my eyebrows and I hate it. Waste of money. This setting spray thing, obviously I can't judge it, but just from the way that it, just from what it did to my makeup and what it did to my skin, I don't particularly like it. I don't feel like it did anything. Yes, it might help with makeup wear, but for me, like after I sprayed it, I expected my face to look less powdery and it just did not make a difference. And also the sprayer is way too fucking aggressive. What else? Other things that I don't really think are worth it from Essence. These aren't new, these aren't things that I've just bought, but the primers, I don't like them. This one I like more than this one, but they always make things look weird on my nose. That could be what's happening now. Maybe the foundation is not meshing well with the primer, but I mean, they're both from Essence. You would think that they would both work well together. But I will be trying this foundation out with different primers. I'll try it all out again and stuff, but just on my very first impressions, this was a massive thumbs down. I hate it. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. And have you tried any of this stuff? Have you had the same thing? Do you think it's the primer? Yeah, let me know what you think. But without further ado, I will let you get back to your day. Please make sure you subscribe if you have not already. Check out my Patreon if you want to become part of the family. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.